the lens is here, and if you turn around, or if you just shuffle back a little bit, then you'll be in shot. What do you think? Gone are the days of me just eating toast. But did my budget swaps and budget grocery haul from last week pan out? This week is a little cooking heavy because I really feel like that's mostly what I've done this week. But first, the pantry's looking a little bare. So this is what's left before I go to Aldi for a grocery shop. And there's nothing left in the fridge. Okay, this week's Aldi shop came to $27.79. And I actually managed to stretch out the last shop for 11 days. I'm a little bit behind on videos because it took me so long to edit the last one because I was overthinking everything. Okay, alright, so let's get into it. We've got the frozen winter vegetables again. That's a kilo and it was $3.69. The frozen mixed berries, 500 grams, $5.19. Peanut butter, $3.99. On the advice of some lovely commenters, I got some coconut cream for this week, and that was $1.09. I'm going to use that to make some rice. Then the sweet potatoes were $3.51. I got just under a kilo of those. They were $3.99 a kilo. And so were the bananas. And I got 1.66 kilos. So I spent $6.63 on the bananas. And then I got a loaf of bread for $3.69. But as you can see, I have already been eating it. I did this grocery shop 2 days ago. So yeah, I've already eaten some of the bread. I want to discuss with you what I learned since my previous budget grocery haul. The grocery haul lasted me for 11 days, which is great, with one tiny exception. As you may be aware, I used to buy a very expensive bread that was very high in protein and very high in fiber. And I would have 2 slices of that toasted with peanut butter and a sliced banana for breakfast. When I would have that for breakfast, it would literally fill me up until dinner time. Sometimes I would have my single serve cake for lunch, but often I wouldn't need to. I was still full from breakfast. Porridge, on the other hand, even though I'm adding the walnuts that I had already, it's just not very filling to me. Well, it is filling in that I can physically fill my stomach with the porridge, so I physically can't eat anymore, but I will be hungry again an hour or 2 later, which is really quite annoying. So basically, during the 11 days, I decided I needed to go grab a loaf of bread and to start having lunch. So I bought a $5 loaf of bread. Yes, a lot of you will say that's a ridiculously expensive loaf of bread. I don't disagree with you. I also punched in what I was eating to Chronometer, and I did have quite a caloric deficit going on, which if you're on a weight loss journey, it's not like a huge caloric deficit that I had, but I'm not aiming to lose weight at this point in time, so I would rather just have enough calories for the day. So I would fill my stomach in the morning with porridge. I would fill my stomach with dinner at night. There's plenty of it, but I was still always feeling hungry. So I'm just working on that. I'm hoping that having lunch will help. Yeah. So that's what the bread and the peanut butter are being used for, basically. Just for lunch. I know lots of people have lunch anyway, so this is not earth-shattering information, but I thought I would just mention it because I think it's worth noting that when you change what you're eating, you might not be saving as much money as you think if you're starving hungry, even though you're eating something cheaper. Because eventually, I don't know about you, eventually if I'm hungry for enough days, I'm gonna go do something silly and buy something that I shouldn't and binge on it. That's just the way I work. Yeah. So that's what I learned from last week's grocery haul. So the lens is here, and if you turn around, or if you just shuffle back a little bit, then you'll be in shot. What do you think? No? Okay. Look, it's up to you. So to finish off this week's groceries, I bought 1 kilo of mince for $12 and a whole chicken for $7.65. Yes, I didn't do as well this time as I did last time. Let me explain. I went back to the butcher to get $10 a kilo mince. However, I have poor time management, and I got there 10 minutes before they closed. They didn't have the pre-packaged budget mince on the shelves. Like, the shelf was empty. They'd sold it all. I am sure that they had more out the back, but as I said, it was 10 minutes before closing. I wasn't gonna ask them to go and get things dirty just to get me some mince when I am certain that they had cleaned up for the day. So I just wasn't comfortable asking them to go and do that for me. Yes, I probably could have gotten a cheaper chicken there, but it was when I spoke to one of my sons about my most recent budget groceries and how they didn't fill me up. And he suggested, he's also on a low budget and a student, he suggested adding roast chicken instead of adding back the bread, because it's probably going to be more filling, probably more nutritious than a cheaper bread, and it's what he does. He likes to put it in a slow cooker in the morning or the night before. Yeah, so he suggested that, so I'm going to give that a go this week. So yes, I ended up going back to Coles for my meat this week. Aldi would have been a smarter option, but when I did the Aldi shop, I thought I was getting my meat from the butcher, so I didn't buy the meat from there. It was just a logistical problem. I'll try and do better next time. I know. You are here about the chicken? Is that what this is? Meow? Yeah, you already had dinner. Do you remember? I remember giving you dinner. It's about 20 minutes ago. It was about 20 minutes ago. This week marked the first week of my final trimester of uni for 2025. And I was determined to get off to a good start and prepare myself proper meals and get some meals in the freezer. We're gonna go get a lemon. We're gonna go get lemon. Got a lemon and some rosemary from the garden. Sweet potato. Just a tiny bit of olive oil because I'm almost out. Okay, I'm going to tuck the sweet potato in under the chicken because I don't have enough oil and I don't plan on buying any more oil. So that the fat from the chicken will hopefully get nicely into these sweet potato pieces. Bella, I don't remember inviting you. We're not having the chicken right now, it's not cooked. Bella, okay, they can't see you. They're probably going to be grossed out at how close you are to my food. But I can't push you away right now because I have chicken hands. No, I have chicken hands. Okay. Right. See how this works. Okay, cool. Bella. No, you're not having the chicken. I have to go wash my hands. Can I trust you for 2 seconds? Can I trust you? Alright, I'm going to be watching you. I'm watching you. And the people at home are watching you as well. Okay? Put some black pepper. Into the oven for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Broke the chicken up and I had a quarter of it for dinner tonight. And there should be 3 more portions in there for different days this week. I just wanted to show you I'm out of oil and I'm not keen on buying a cheaper oil. I just put a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan and browned my onions that way. And I'll be adding some fat to this particular meal with some coconut cream. I'm going to use half the can. I'm dividing the 1 kilo of beef mince into 3 portions. No, it's not for you. No, it's not for you. Back, go back. Go back. I know you're excited. It's not for you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. No, it's not for you. I like to squish it really flat so that it defrosts more quickly, because I never remember to defrost it before I need it. So this way it cooks in the fry pan or the pot really easily from frozen. Whilst my hands are still filthy, I'm going to put the final third in the pot. In other good news, I got access to a deep freezer this week, so I can potentially freeze more meat and more leftovers. I just add a little more water whenever it looks like it's getting a bit dry. As tasty as I found this curry last week, I still find myself not enjoying the leftovers. And I know, I need to just adjust. But I'm contemplating trying divvying up the meat and maybe cooking some lentils ahead and some other protein sources like my beans. I'm contemplating like separating those into smaller portions and maybe frying up a small meal in a single serve and seeing how that works, because I really just like eating a fresh meal every day. So I think I might try that next week. But don't get me wrong, this beef and lentil curry is really delicious, and with the coconut cream as well, it was good. I do think I preferred it with the butternut pumpkin as opposed to the sweet potato, but I think both are good. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I think it was better with the butternut pumpkin. I'm making my dinner using some of the roast chicken that I cooked last night. And I'm gonna make something similar to what a few people have suggested in the comments with the rice cooker. I'm gonna put rice, coconut cream, a little bit of chicken and some frozen vegetables. And I'm just gonna cook it in the rice cooker and see what happens. I might add some turmeric as well. So that was another suggestion, to use curry powder. Most curry powders have chili in them, so I just use turmeric and cumin. I think I've mentioned it before, maybe only in the comments. I can't have nightshade vegetables, tomatoes, potatoes, chili, eggplant. There's a few other odd ones. They give me eczema and swollen sore joints, so I can't have them, unfortunately. Okay, I'll just go and rinse that. This is the other half of the can of coconut cream. Okay, it can be quite bitter if I put too much, so I'm gonna go for like 1/4 teaspoon, just in case. If it's not enough this time, I'll just add more next time. And I think about the same for the cumin and coriander mix. Okay, all done. Add some salt. Now for the chicken. Okay, I'm just gonna grab one of the quarters and just tear it on top. Okay, I would say I've put about 1 cup of frozen veggies in, so we'll see if that's the right amount. So I've got that in the rice cooker. Just turn it on and let's see what happens. Okay. So I think this is definitely a winner. The coconut cream just gives it that lovely creamy texture and flavor. So that's been my week. Lots of cooking, back to studying, and a few lessons learned about making budget swaps and tweaking things to make them work for me personally. I'm really curious. If you eat porridge or oats, do you find them filling, or are you hungry again a few hours later? I don't know if this is just a me thing. Thanks for hanging out with me whilst I cooked these meals, and I will see you next week.